you're wasting what matters most. Think about that for a moment. Is it your time, your energy, or something far deeper? Here's the hard truth. Most people live their lives chasing things that fade: money, power, approval, while ignoring what truly lasts. And you might be doing it too, without even realizing. Here's something controversial. Thomas Aquinas believed the problem isn't what we don't have, but what we don't understand. He taught that we're all trapped in a cycle of distractions, letting what's temporary consume us, while the eternal, the soul, virtue, truth, goes unnoticed. But here's the twist. He didn't leave us without a way out. In fact, his teachings can show you how to stop wasting your life and start living with clarity, purpose, and true happiness. Doesn't that sound worth exploring? Imagine breaking free from the noise and focusing on what really matters. That's what this video is about. 7 powerful lessons from Aquinas that will challenge the way you see yourself, your choices, and your future. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a chance to take your life to the next level. Let's begin. Lesson 1. The natural law and moral order. Have you ever stopped to wonder why some actions feel inherently right and others undeniably wrong? Why do we instinctively protect life, seek fairness, or feel drawn to truth? Thomas Aquinas believed there's a universal blueprint woven into the fabric of humanity, a kind of moral compass written not in books, but in our very nature. He called it the natural law. Now think about this. If every person shares this inner guide, why is the world still so full of conflict? What happens when we ignore this law? Aquinas would argue that natural law isn't something we invent. It's something we uncover, something that already exists, like the laws of physics. Just as gravity pulls us toward the earth, the natural law pulls us toward what is good and right. But here's where it gets interesting. Unlike gravity, we can resist it. We have the power to act against what's good. So, why do we sometimes choose the opposite? Is it ignorance, temptation, or something else? Aquinas believed that by using our reason, we can align ourselves with this divine order. It's not about rules imposed from outside. It's about understanding the very purpose of our existence. And here's the big question. What would the world look like if every person followed this inner moral code? Would war exist? Would injustice crumble? What would your life look like if every decision you made was aligned with this higher purpose? Aquinas challenges us to pause and listen to that inner voice, the one urging us to protect life, pursue truth, and seek harmony. But here's the catch. Listening isn't enough. What comes next is the hardest part. So, are you ready to take the next steps? Lesson 2. The hierarchy of being. Have you ever wondered where you fit in the grand design of the universe? Are we mere specks in an endless cosmos, or is there something more profound about our existence? According to Thomas Aquinas, the world isn't chaotic. It's carefully ordered, a divine hierarchy where every being has its place. But here's the twist. We humans hold a unique position in this cosmic ladder. Picture this. At the very top is God, the ultimate source of existence, the foundation of all being. Beneath him are angels, beings of pure spirit, free from the limits of flesh and bone. And then there's us. We're a mix of body and soul, of physical matter and rational thought. Have you ever stopped to think about how extraordinary that is? We're both part of the material world and capable of reaching toward the divine. But why us? Why this blend of earthly and heavenly? Aquinas believed it's because we're bridges. Bridges between the visible and the invisible, between the mundane and the sacred. Yet, here's the paradox. While we have the potential to rise, we can also fall. Lower on the hierarchy are animals, plants, and finally, inanimate objects, all with their own roles in this grand design. Unlike us, they simply are, following their purpose without choice or deviation. So the question is, what will you do with this unique role? Will you embrace the higher purpose Aquinas envisioned, or will you settle for less? And here's something to think about. If we have this incredible capacity for reason and virtue, why do we sometimes feel so small, so insignificant? Is it because we forget our place in this hierarchy? Or because we're afraid to rise to the challenge? The ladder is there, waiting for us to climb. But the next step, that's entirely up to you. Lesson 3. Cultivating virtues for moral excellence. What makes a good person? Is it their actions, their intentions, or something deeper? Thomas Aquinas believed that the answer lies in virtues, those timeless qualities that shape who we are and guide us toward the best version of ourselves. But here's the catch. Virtues aren't something you're born with. They're something you cultivate, like planting seeds in the soil of your soul. So, what seeds are you planting? Are they the virtues Aquinas called the cardinal virtues, prudence, justice, fortitude, and temperance? Think about it. Prudence, the ability to make wise decisions in a chaotic world. Justice, the commitment to give others what they deserve. Fortitude, the courage to stand firm in the face of adversity. And temperance, the discipline to balance desire and restraint. Do these sound like qualities you want in your life? And then there are the virtues Aquinas said connect us directly to the divine. Faith, hope, and charity. These aren't just abstract ideals. They're transformative forces. Faith strengthens your bond with what's beyond the visible. Hope lifts you when life feels heavy. And charity, the greatest of them all, teaches you to love selflessly, to love without limits. But here's the question. How do you cultivate these virtues in a world that seems to reward the opposite? A world that glorifies shortcuts over prudence, selfishness over justice, indulgence over temperance? What would it take for you to live a life defined by virtues, not distractions? The truth is, virtues demand effort. They require you to confront your flaws, to grow through struggle. But Aquinas believed that the reward, moral excellence, and a life aligned with higher purpose was worth every challenge. So, here's the real question. Are you ready to start planting? Lesson 4. The soul as the essence of humanity. Who are you? No, really. Who are you? Are you your body, your thoughts, your memories? Thomas Aquinas would tell you that your essence isn't something you can see in the mirror. It's your soul, the invisible core that defines who you truly are. But here's the mystery. What is the soul, and why does it matter? Aquinas believed your soul is the form of your body. It's what gives you life, purpose, and identity. Without it, you'd be nothing more than a collection of atoms. But the soul isn't just some abstract concept. It's alive with two incredible powers, intellect and will. The intellect allows you to seek truth, to question, to wonder. And the will, it's your power to choose, to desire what is good, to shape the course of your life. Now think about this. How often do you really use these gifts? How often do you seek the truth when it's easier to believe a comforting lie? How often do you choose what's truly good over what's simply easy? Aquinas would argue that every moment of your life is an opportunity to nurture your soul by aligning your choices with what is true and good. But here's the challenge. Your soul isn't just handed a map. It has to find its way. And here's the hook. If your soul is immortal, if it outlives every physical part of you, what does that mean for the way you live now? Are you feeding your soul with wisdom, virtue, and purpose? Or are you letting it starve in the chaos of distraction and superficiality? Your soul is the essence of who you are, the part of you that reaches beyond the temporary, beyond the material. But here's the question that lingers. What are you doing with it? Lesson 5. Happiness as the ultimate goal. What does happiness mean to you? Is it a fleeting smile, the rush of achieving a goal, or the comfort of a peaceful moment? Now, here's a real question. Do those moments ever feel like enough? Thomas Aquinas believed they aren't. Not because they're unimportant, but because they're just glimpses of something far greater. He called it the beatific vision, the ultimate happiness found in union with God. But what does that really mean? Think about this. We spend so much of our lives chasing happiness. We look for it in careers, relationships, possessions. But how often do those things truly satisfy? Aquinas argued that these earthly joys are like shadows, reflections of a deeper reality, one we're all yearning for but can't quite see. So, what are we really chasing? Here's the twist. Aquinas didn't dismiss the happiness we find in this life. He saw it as a stepping stone, a way to train our souls for the ultimate fulfillment. The laughter with friends, the satisfaction of a hard day's work, the beauty of a sunset, all of these are whispers of a joy that's eternal. But here's the catch. Are you listening to those whispers, or are you drowning them out with noise and distractions? Now imagine this. What if the happiness you've been searching for isn't something you can find, but something you can only become? Aquinas believed that true happiness is about aligning yourself with what is good, what is true, and what is eternal. But here's the challenge. How do you align with something you can't fully comprehend? Maybe the real question isn't what makes you happy, but who you're becoming in the process of seeking it. So ask yourself, what are you chasing? And is it leading you closer to the happiness Aquinas described, or further away? Lesson 6. The relationship between church and state. What holds society together? Is it laws, traditions, or something deeper? Thomas Aquinas believed it's a delicate balance between two forces, the church and the state. Imagine them as two hands working together, one guiding the soul, the other safeguarding the body. But here's the big question. What happens when one hand tries to act alone? Think about this. The state governs the here and now, laws, order, justice. It ensures that roads are built, crimes are punished, and people can live in peace. But what about the questions no law can answer? Questions of meaning, purpose, morality. That's where the church steps in. Aquinas argued that while the state addresses the body, the church tends to the soul, pointing us towards something greater than ourselves. But here's the twist. The church doesn't replace the state, nor does the state control the church. Instead, they're meant to collaborate. Imagine a society where leaders act with moral wisdom and spiritual insight. Would it solve corruption? Injustice? Could it even create harmony where chaos now reigns? Of course, the balance isn't easy. What happens when the state ignores moral truths, or when the church oversteps, trying to impose rather than inspire? Aquinas believed that the church holds a higher responsibility because eternal well-being outweighs temporal success. But here's where it gets personal. If society is shaped by this balance, what role do you play in keeping it steady? The truth is, the relationship between church and state isn't just about institutions. It's about people. It's about you, me, all of us, choosing to live with both integrity and purpose. So, what kind of society are you helping to build? Lesson 7. The mystery of the Eucharist. Have you ever experienced a moment so profound, so mysterious, that words fail to capture it? For Thomas Aquinas, one such mystery stood above all others, the Eucharist. Now here's a question. How can something as simple as bread and wine hold such deep spiritual meaning? Aquinas believed the Eucharist is more than a symbol. It's a transformation. Imagine this. During the act of consecration, the bread and wine cease to be what they appear to be. Their substance changes, becoming the very body and blood of Christ, while their outward appearance remains unchanged. He called this process transubstantiation. But how does that work? And why does it matter? Think about it. We live in a world that's obsessed with appearances. Success is measured by how things look on the outside, often ignoring what's inside. But the Eucharist flips that idea on its head. It's not about what you see, it's about what it is. Aquinas taught that through this mystery, we're invited into a deeper connection with God, a union that nourishes the soul in ways nothing else can. But here's the challenge. Do we truly grasp the significance of what's happening? Or do we let the profound become routine? Aquinas saw the Eucharist as a bridge between heaven and earth, a moment where the divine touches the human. And here's the hook. If something so ordinary can hold such extraordinary meaning, what else in life are we overlooking? The Eucharist isn't just a ritual, it's an invitation. An invitation to see beyond the surface, to look deeper, and to encounter the divine in ways we might never expect. So, the question remains, are you ready to look beyond appearances? So, now that you've explored the profound teachings of Thomas Aquinas, the real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you keep living on autopilot, chasing distractions, and wasting what matters most? Or will you take the first step to realign your life with what's true, eternal, and fulfilling? Think about it. What virtues will you start cultivating today? How will you nurture your soul instead of just your body? Are you ready to stop chasing temporary happiness and embrace a purpose that lasts forever? These aren't just abstract ideas. They're an invitation to transform your life. If this resonated with you, don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can continue diving deeper into timeless wisdom that can truly change how you live and think. Trust me, this is just the beginning. And if you're ready to go even further, here's your next step. Explore Summa Theologica by Thomas Aquinas. It's not just a book. It's a guide to unlocking the deeper meaning of life. The best part, it's incredibly affordable on Amazon, and I've made it easy for you to find. It's linked in the first comment below. Don't wait. Start your journey toward a richer, more purposeful life today. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.